Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Pokemon Duel. Today we are doing the Bug Fire deck gym prep. So let's start with some boosters. We've got some moss boosters. Moss boosters. Moss. Yeah, moss colour. And we're getting a Skorupi and a Fennekin, which these are definitely not going to feature in the gym. Yeah, so we're going to be going through all the best Pokemon I think are going to be used. We're going to see in the fire gym. I'm going to be going through what deck I'm going to be using, some of the plates that will work well in combination, and if there's any hidden gems as well that need to be potentially considered in your decks, we'll be going through them. So let's open up this final purple booster and get to it. Oh, blue. At least we didn't get a bug crash. I'm happy with that. So best way to do it, let's start with the bug types. The bug types are really rubbish, and there's so little option in the bug department. It's crazy when you compare that to the fire type. We're talking about 1 EX in the bug types, Genesect, 11 EX potentials in the fire category, which is a huge disparity, and which I feel like they should have compensated a little bit better than this plate. So let's actually first check out this plate, because we'll be considering it when talking about some of the Pokemon. Molting Energy has the ability to, during the duel, when one of your bug type Pokemon or flying type Pokemon moves from the PC to the bench, it can evolve. If it does, that Pokemon gains 3 weight and your turn ends. So we'll be talking about some of these. We're looking at for bug and flying types that potentially can evolve once they get knocked out, to give you a tactical bonus. So there's one I've got in mind as well, hidden gem potentially. So 72 gems, potentially worth buying if depending on what your deck is like. So let's start with the bug types. Genesect. It's such a shame because Genesect doesn't get any buff, being it's the only EX and still it doesn't get a buff. Your Pokemon can MP move over your other Pokemon on the field. That gives some kind of ability. Techno Blast at 50 can now go higher and higher than 100 when with Techno Charge. So this Pokemon gains weight. The Pokemon deals 50 damage until the end of the next turn, which it spins Techno Blast. Means you can just keep hitting Techno Charge, which you've got good odds of doing, and eventually hit Techno Blast that could hit 150. So definitely a lot better than it was. The 50 Techno Blast obviously is bigger than the Techno Charge, so you're gonna hit that more often than not compared to the Techno Charge. And when you take that into account, compare that with the power of some of the Pokemon, to actually knock them out in this gym is going to be very difficult. You're going to need to spin it 3 times to knock out most Pokemon we're going to be seeing in this gym. So not a great option. Let me see the rares, and still it doesn't get great. Galvantula is probably the best rare along with Ninjask in terms of potential for this gym, because it has the ability to paralyze any opponent that uses Flyaway or Fire or Soar. So we're going to see that in the form of Reshiram. We're going to see Moltres doing that. We're going to see, I don't know if you happen to use a Flygon with the Flyaway. So they're going to become paralyzed, and then its Electro Ball is going to deal 120 damage, but we're not going to see a lot of paralyzed attacks, I don't think, to see that being pulled off enough. It's going to have to rely on doing it itself with Electric Thread. At 3 MP though, it is definitely a really good deck option if you're not got a lot of EX figures. It definitely needs to feature as one of the top rares, I think, in this gym that you can consider. Ninjask is one that will benefit from the Molting Energy plate, so it could be knocked out at Nincada and then evolved into Ninjask. And a pretty cool feature is this Pokemon can MP move through Pokemon that have weight, and also if this Pokemon has evolved, this Pokemon on your bench gains 1 MP. So it becomes a 4 MP Ninjask, doesn't get any buff in this gym as it's already 3. And if you think about that tactically, you could have, let's just think of one Pokemon that can inflict weight in this gym. Combuskin can inflict 4 weight. You place it next to your entry point, a little square in the middle, and then somebody advances on it, Combuskin attacks, inflicts weight, Ninjask can come off the bench and go into a straight surround if there's nobody behind Combuskin. So it could pull that off. I'm not sure how often it's going to get that, but with a 4 MP on the bench, anyway, it's a good Pokemon to potentially have. Double Edge is a great attack. This Pokemon and the battle opponent are knocked out in terms of getting the opponent knocked out, but the fact that it knocks yourself out as well isn't a great option. But then again, you've got that 4 MP again, so think of the versatility you could get from that. Night Slash at 40 is weak, will become 50 if you do get that evolved from Nincada. Night Slash gives the opponent, if the opponent's not knocked out, you may switch the Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. You may switch this Pokemon's not knocked out, but the odds are Ninjask is going to get knocked out at 40. So I'm not a big fan of that attack. I feel like they could have put something better in there, given that Double Edge does knock you out as well. A little bit disappointed with Night Slash. So, but again, you've got that 4 MP, get somewhere, then switch out. If you do pull it off, it could work. And for its ability, you know, if you think about Deoxys speed form, it matches it with that 40 attack as well. Vespiquen, it's just, you know, looks good, but you know, this defend order, the ability to move one of your own can be on the field, moves next to this Pokemon, because if you do that automatically, if you're in a quite a nice advanced position, which you will get into with 3 MP, then you can do attack order, which gives you plus 30. But then you've got a combi on the field, and you're not going to want them in your deck when there's so many better options in the fire department. So if Vespiquen is not going to feature, and even if in a budget deck, I don't think you'd definitely be a very budget deck. Pincer Heracross, they've got a buff since recent, I think it was. Pincer definitely did, and it's got some unique purple attacks, some quite a big portion of its disc in total that has this. Scissor Toss, it's not a knockout. Guillotine is a knockout effect, but it's too small. Vice Grip, nah. These guys, Heracross, Pincer, Armaldo going to 2 MP. If it has a water Pokemon next to it, which you're probably not going to have, goes to 3 MP. Not powerful enough. Too many better figures in the fire department. And when you look at everything else, we've got an Nincada who you might try and evolve. Could get the dig to get the evolve, but this Pokemon gains 10 weight at the start of this duel. When it faints, you can evolve it without sending it to the PC anyway. So yeah. Therefore, you actually don't really need. It won't benefit from the bolting energy. I picked the wrong Pokemon. That won't even benefit from it because Nincada isn't gonna benefit from that, unless when this Pokemon faints in battle, you can evolve it without sending it to the PC. Unless Cyclone Kick by your boy Blaziken, whether that would outweigh it and send it to the PC. So there's a situation where it would be effective and would stop it from evolving. Joltik is definitely a good option if you want to get that chain level advantage without putting the chain levels in. You've got Electric Thread, which is a nice cover with Paralyze. It could work well with another Galvantula. At least like obviously a weak 30 attack, but it does strengthen your squad, and you can put them behind all your main players. Only really going to be effective in the short game. In the long game, you're going to be reduced to a 4 desk, and I think at that point he's going to become too much of a vulnerability. The only probably other person worth mentioning, I think, is Scyther, because we might see Scizor getting being the figure reward for this Gym Cup. And you can evolve with this guy, 3 MP. You just need to hit your Sword Dance to get slashed to 100, False Swipe to 40 with the Sword Dance, and 17, 20 and 50. It's going to be difficult to evolve, but if you think about it, it's a flying type, so, and it's a bug type, so send to the gym with the Molting Energy, Bosch could potentially evolve into a Scizor. So Steel type, is it going to have some cool attack? Who knows? Well, we'll find out. I'm hoping for something really good. I'm hoping it's an EX. I really like Scizor. It's one of my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon, just in terms of looks. It looks awesome. So let's get down to real business, and that's talking about the fire types, because we have a lot of good options here. Like I said, 11 EXs, yeah, 11 EX figures, and they all have strength. So let's start with the main guy. This guy has to be in your deck if you've pulled him. Blaziken. Powerful man, take it with Cyclone Kick, taking a 3-star effect and knocking your battle opponent straight to the PC. So there's where the benefit of that, which I didn't mention when I was in the original video when I was talking about doing portals in the new Pokemon, is why that is so effective is if you play a Deoxys squad and you are playing somebody who benefits from an instant knockout effect. So that would be your defense form Deoxys. You're going to prevent, obviously you can't, they're immune from instant knockout effects, while Cyclone isn't an instant knockout. Bush knocks it to the PC, so you can actually knock a defense form to the PC. A nice 3-star as well, so you're going to hit that against its Psycho Barrier. We also have the advantage against Magikarp. You know, it benefits from the instant knockout effect as because it evolves if you knock it out, but sends it straight to the PC. It doesn't evolve into Gyarados, so a real good competitor. Even in League play, we see quite a few Magikarps. People playing with that. Jet Kick at 20 going to 40. The battle opponent is knocked out. This battle opponent moves 2 steps away. After the battle, this Pokemon gains weight. So you've got a nice sized portion Yellow Disc at 40, and going to be something to compete with any purple discs, as I don't think there's a lot of yellow discs in this gym. Flare Blitz at 150. Wow. And if this opponent is knocked out, the battle opponent becomes burned. If you can knock this guy out, wow. But then, wow. Flare Blitz 150, and it's a really nice sort of size disc. Going to 12 miss once at level 5. 12, it's a sizable miss, but it's obviously offset by these insanely powerful attacks and makes him a definite entry into any deck, I think. Moltres, really excited about Moltres having 130 attack on the Crushing Flames, 80 on the Steel Wing, but it's obviously half the size in disc, and I put my 4 spaces on the wheel piece size into Crushing Flames, taking it to a nice 36 size. Roost with the protective dodge, Flame Charge with the ability to burn Pokemon. We might see the Flame Energy Plate being featured as it inflicts weight wins. I think we'll go through some of the figures that can inflict weight on other people, because potentially we could see some weight wins. If you burn obviously 4 opponents with 2 in the PC and you're a battle opponent, you could pull Flame Energy and clutch the match on a weight win, as long as they don't have a plate that they can use. That's one of the areas where it really gets me, where it's going to be really hard to inflict weight wins, is because people can just use a plate. So they're going to be immune to that, and it's going to be very hard to get. What I feel is these weight wins, as we're not seeing them now, as more figures start to get them, we might start to see that the odds of hitting those weight wins increase and becoming more effective, but I don't think they're effective enough just yet. Flame Charge, yeah, burn the opponent, take that -10 damage off of the people you inflict it upon, and take away a wheel piece of the smallest size. So it's obviously all reliable Moltres, I love him, and the burn effect is going to be really useful in this gym. Magmortar, let's talk about Magmortar and Delphox together. Both need buffs in my opinion, they're just not powerful enough. Fire Punch going to 80, if that was 80 already, which would be fair enough, you could take it to 100 and it could compete. Fire Punch does burn opponents, which is a nice little ability if it does get knocked out, sorry, when it gets knocked out pretty much. And then Flame Gun, a real nice unique ability we don't see a lot in the game, is that the battle opponent is knocked out and one Pokemon directly behind it is knocked out. So the ability to knock 2 Pokemon out in one go is very, very nice. And at 28 going to 32 if you increase it, is a nice sizable disc to potentially hit. And it is that benefit of knocking 2 people out in one go is where Magmortar is awesome. But if you've got nobody behind it, you pull Flame Gun, well, it's great for clutching matches. Horrible to have matches clutched against you. And Delphox kind of falls within that same vein of not strong enough. Fire Blast at 70, Flamethrower at 50 with the ability to inflict burn upon if it's knocked out. These going up to 70 and 90 respectively, and you could get the evolve with the light screen going into Delphox. But then if this is part of the opponent means miss as well, another nice ability is its miss. It can recycle a plate, but its miss size isn't huge and you don't really want to be hitting it. It's going to be not getting knocked out on those white discs more often than not. Flame Kinesis, the battle opponent is moved 3 steps away from this Pokemon. Great for potentially getting special surrounds with that, or pushing opponents away into a nice useful position. If they're 1 MP, it can be a killer, but not if they're 3 MP because it doesn't inflict weight. So for me, Delphox and Magmortar, they're good options backup if you're really struggling, because they're definitely good options in terms of what their special abilities, but no, they're not great options when you compare to other people. So let's get started to those other people. Reshiram. Wow, this guy is going to be insane. Weight 9 at the start of the duel, so he's going to have to wait to get involved. But when he does get involved, he's going to shake things up on the floor, because we have Blue Flare coming in at 120. We have Fusion Flare coming at 90. And then push, you put on that overdrive, and all of a sudden, Reshiram becomes a killer. 120 Fusion Flare. Blue Flare going to 150. That's a nice disc. He can compete with Blaziken if you have that, if you have chain levels on him, which I think we'll see a lot of people will have. If you bring Zekrom to the party as well, I will hate you and envy you for not having one myself. But you can really hit that Fusion Flare nicely and exclude Pokemon from the duel with a huge buff on your attack. I can see that happening a lot. And you know, the beauty of Reshiram is this fly ability as well. 24 if you put the discs together, you're going to hit that quite often, and moving 1 to 2 steps away is huge. I've seen people clutch matches on this, get into a massively dangerous position, just completely switch the advantage up. So I'm aware of that. The only liability with fly is if you're very good at being aware of positions on the field, you can potentially make that a weakness by putting him, we have to give him no option to go into the surround. So that's where Reshiram on the sides becomes quite weak, because you just need to position somebody behind your guy in a surround block position, and then fly over. Boom, can't go 2 MP because of this guy, and it becomes a liability. So something to think about when you're competing against Reshiram. Typhlosion has obviously had the new buff where it gets +1 MP as well as +10 damage. This makes him a really nice option in terms of you can get this guy to 3 MP, which, you know, in the long game he's going to be on for the most of the match. He gets +10 anyway, so Ember becomes 70, Fire Blast becomes 110. Then you add the +20, 130 Fire Blast, 90 Ember. That's nice. You know, he at that point becomes a nice competitor, like quite nicely matched against Heatran, but then Heatran's got the buffs as well. Hot Air, only 1 star, which is a shame. You know, but all neighbor Pokemon become burned. So if you were, again, if you're going for that flame energy, somebody who can inflict burn on a lot of people, potentially a lot of people. So that could be used, but the 1 star does worry me, because when you compare that guy directly with Heatran, you've already got that 110, 70 without, you know, having people on the PC. You don't get the 3 MP on Heatran, but Crunch becomes 100, Ironhead becomes 140. So wait, am I completely? No, it's a 20 buff. It becomes 130 and 90. Which is powerful, you know, nice attack. Magma Slide, really love this attack. Knocking him 2 steps back. Battle opponent gets away and they get burned. That can be a real killer when you're trying to get some momentum, and trying to block entry points is really difficult against Heatran. So I think he's definitely an option. Again, I don't have him. I have these Pokemon. Because the Surprise Strike is a real nice unique ability. It makes it very difficult to block entry points and get wins by that. Forces opponents to make you know, an aggressive move to potentially get into that surround around somebody on your people blocking your goal point. You can definitely catch the you know, you don't need a long throw, because actually you can just wait, try and bait people into your entry points, and then come in with a surround with a Surprise Strike without even initiating the battle. Makes him a really tactically great addition to the squad, and I probably have him in my deck if I had him. Infernape, we saw that buff make a massive difference in the fact that now he gets 110 drive kick, ability to clutch matches on this, gaining an advantage with that moving forward. claiming the spot or the unit of the opponent you knocked out. Detect is a nice blue move, and has the ability to gain +1 MP on its next move. Mach Punch, again a yellow attack where we haven't seen a lot of yellow attacks, so it could compete against purple attacks. So I think that's a real good advantage. But for me, the miss, I don't really like it. It's with a 12 size if you're up to level 5. But you know, the drive kick, it can clutch matches. It can really change games up. We have the power monster that is Charizard pulling a 70 fire spin, Dragon Tail at 100. Dragon Tail is guaranteed to knock them out if you get knocked out. So it does make it a nice cover Pokemon. Also a nice, I sometimes like to use it if you have blocked the entry points and you're trying to get rid of somebody off the field. Go with that Dragon Tail, because you get somebody who you can bring straight onto the field, but they, once they're blocked, have to then get one of the people off their entry points. So it is a nice cover. Fire Spin is such a huge disc that we're going to see some big attacks, 70 times whatever the amount of times you spin it. And if you can get the Evolve, which I think for me personally is where it is necessary, because I hate 1 MP Pokemon, you're going to see Charmeleon give him that +1 MP. And Charmeleon is definitely an option for evolving. Will not benefit from Molting Energy as it's not a flying or bug type Pokemon. But you know, Searing Shot, you can hit that on Charmeleon and you can potentially knock them out and get that evolved into a mighty Charizard with an 80 fire spin, 110 Dragon Tail. So very nice. Finally, in the EX department, we have 2 more Pokemon, one in the form of Entei. New Pokemon, this can MP past burn Pokemon, and this Pokemon gains 1 MP from the bench, so 3 MP from the bench. Can move over burn Pokemon, so if you think in combination with Hot Air, when you hit that and you burn on neighbor Pokemon, it can move through Pokemon. You potentially could block an entry point, somebody could come next to you. If you get burn on them, then you can surround them potentially if they're going down the sides or along your front line. Huge Sacred Fire at 140, Stomp at 80, Fierce Roar. This is where it just dies. I'm like, Entei, wow, Stomp, Sacred Fire, wow, the battle opponent becomes Burn. Fierce Roar switches the battle opponent with an opposing Pokemon adjacent to the battle opponent. With an opposing Pokemon. So you could have your own Pokemon who is adjacent to it. Switch. You could, it's very hard to pull off, but you could get surround from doing that potentially. Switch. It's not a great move for me. It's not great. It could be better. Those Pokemon do gain weight, so potentially you're going for that weight win. But compared to Entei, you know, how mental would compared to Suicune, how mental would be Entei be if it could exclude Pokemon from the duel when burn? Whew. Yeah, you just can't have the matching effect, because that would be too killer. Entei, therefore, it's powerful, but I just really don't like Fierce Roar, and Stomp isn't a great backup because it has no ability attached to it. Finally, Ho-Oh. Will this guy make a feature? I loved Ho-Oh, and he was like in all my decks until that Gust became too much of a liability. 50. The size of Fire Blast has increased, but I'm still looking at this disc and seeing almost 50% is 50 miss, so below a 51 attack. And Fire Blast was powerful, it goes to 120. We've got a lot of fire Pokemon that have more powerful attacks than that. We have a Rainbow Ring, which is where it's great in terms of on the deck, on the field, because I like to place this in a position, wait for it to be attacked. It becomes a bit of a vulnerability. You sometimes can't attack it because of that risk of getting a Rainbow Wing, the Rainbow Wing going ahead of you, and then potentially having a shot on getting close to the goal, or you get a surround from it on the next go. So that's awesome. And the Serene Light is a killer as well. You know, when this Pokemon's knocked out, removing 2 Pokemon from your PC onto the bench, that can give you that 5-on-4 advantage in the long game. So obviously Ho's excluded from that when it enters it. I love Serene Light, and I'll see how wins go, whether there's whether they're more long-term games or whether the short game is pretty safe to get wins in more. If you get a win within that before getting down to 4 Pokemon, that's what I call my short game. If you don't, and it becomes where there's a lot of 4 and 4, 4-3, 3-4, you know, a lot of back and forth, that's where Ho-Oh really can come into its own. That's a really can benefit. We have Heatmore, not really an option. Just weak attacks and searing shots are great, and who's going to be having a Durham on the field? Combuskin is definitely an option. If you want to get Blaziken into a killer 160 attack, then evolve from Combuskin with Cyclone Kick, which moves the battle opponent to the PC, and where Weak Spot Kick, while 60 can inflict 4 weight. So there's one of those guys where, wow, you could inflict a 4 weight. You just need to hit that Cyclone Kick, don't you? Or you have to hit that 60 against a miss or something lower, which you could do at 80. Becoming 80 is still a powerful attack. So Combuskin is definitely an option just for that evolve. That evolve into Blaziken will make him a killer. 160 damage, 50 on his yellow attack. Definitely nice. Magmar into Magmortar, you can get that evolve, but do you want to? It doesn't make a massive. You can inflict Confuse on Pokemon, so that's where Magmar could be a good option of inflicting Confuse on some opponents that are vulnerable to it. So I'm thinking your Charizard, Heatran's very vulnerable to it. So you could benefit from that, but I don't think it's powerful enough to match the figures. Flareon, without that purple attack, that focus energy, not strong enough as well. Obviously it will go to 120 if you do get focus energy and then hit flamethrower. So a good budget deck option, and with 3 MP, good utility on the field. So potential. The uncommon is not really worth mentioning. So they are the fire types. Fire types are dominant in this gym, and we will see a massive proportion of fire types compared to bug types. Hidden gems then. I haven't looked through, but I'm just gonna kind of off the cuff think about some ones that might be. I think Vibrava and Flygon could be a real good advantage, because you've got Flygon with the ability to prevent people from making motions forward. There's not a lot of yellow discs, therefore he's not very vulnerable to it. He has Supersonic, which can confuse, which is going to be a huge ability to have potentially against people who are vulnerable to it. And once you get evolved into Flygon, you've got Fly Away, and you also have Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor is going to be powerful in this gym, given that, you know, against a Charizard, if you hit Draco Meteor, bosh, he's dead. And because the purple attacks on Vibrava are so big, you don't have to worry about. The attacks on Flygon are so big, you don't have to worry too much that those attacks aren't strong enough, and they're still pretty strong at 70 with the evolve. Draco Meteor, yeah, huge ability, nullify, Fly Away, and soar attacks when on the field, so you can take away Moltres' ability to soar over. Yeah, that Draco Meteor is just killer. Fly Away is a nice little ability as well to have, make motions forward. So Flygon's a nice little hidden gem for me. Obviously for me, Zapdos always features, but in this gym, I'm not sure he will. With 100 attack, even though it's still powerful, it's not. There's a lot of people who he'll lose out to, and it's only going to be good against the purple disc. So that's where he's going to have his strength. So I'm going to wait to see what the decks look like, to see whether there's enough purple on there for Zapdos to become viable. Cobalion is not going to be great because of the yellow. There's not a lot of blue discs, therefore Terrakion isn't a great advantage. Sceptile is always a good person to have in as backup. Stealth Hit ability is so unique, and again, like I said, there's not a lot of blue discs, so you hit that, you can get your Stealth Hit. Leaf Blade potential going up to 140 means he can compete with those powerful big hitters, and Quick Attack, pulling with the 30 yellow disc. So Sceptile for me is a nice little hidden gem to put in. It's probably not a hidden gem, let's face it, he's pretty loud and proud. Deoxys' attack form if you want to match against those big hitters, definitely option. Like I say, there's not a lot of yellow, so you don't have to worry too much about dimensional slip being knocked out by it. Mew is a big one that we have to mention, because that counter, its ability to hit hypersonic against a Blaziken is going to be a good defense against that. Plus with Cyclone Kit you can knock out. With it having its ability of its attack going to 40 though, you're going to see it taking out its hypersonic. With the evolve, it's going to match Psychic, but Psychic could be used against the yellow attack and win. So I think Mew's a definite counter in if you need something to counter those Blazikens on the field. So what's my complete deck going to look like? I have no idea. So let's build it. It's not going to involve any fire types. I know that from... Sorry, well, let me rephrase that. It is going to involve purely fire types, no bug types. No doubt. So with what I have, what I'm working with is Moltres at 130, and its reliability is definitely going on. The ability to inflict burn as well, potentially. Roost, nice dodge attack, and Soar. It means it has to feature for me. 130 is too powerful to ignore. Reshiram is definitely going in, and I'm probably going to match that with an overdrive deck to get the benefit of the huge monster attack that it has. Then it comes down to Ho-Oh, which I'm going to put in because of that 120 attack on the Fire Blast, and Rainbow Wing. I do like to use it as cover, and Serene Light. We'll see how that works, whether it's effective, whether there is a lot of long game in there, therefore it becomes effective. And then we have two spots available to a lot of figures that potentially could be good, but I'm not looking at any of these and thinking I definitely want them in my squad. I don't want Entei in my squad. I don't want Charizard with its terrible MP in my squad. What I do want are some hidden wonders, and I'm looking through those EX figures. Wait a minute, oh, one thing I forgot, sorry. Typhoon Slash. Virizion. Ooh. Yeah. Grass Knot. I'm just thinking that Grass Knot as well. It's good cover against Blaziken. Potentially. I'm liking the thought sets out. I'm not feeling Zapdos just because it being 101. I know obviously I've just put in Virizion, but only because he has that Typhoon, the Typhoon Slash and Grass Knot. I do like the option of Vibrava and Flygon. I do think that's a nice budget move for what it is in uncommon. I think that's a strong figure to have in your deck. What's the other one I considered? There's one more beauty, wasn't there? Mew, yeah, at 3 MP. What I do have in this deck is I need Runner. Yeah, I just realised. So Mew would have to go in place of... Would it go in place of Sceptile? I think it would, just because... Yeah, it has to be Mew. Right, let's get this Mew. 4. Come on, I'll probably up the hypersonic to 31 as well. Yeah, because it's just going to be a huge counter and defensive. It's going to get into a nice advanced position. I'm going to have to advance against. Yeah, Mew. Honestly, I'm thinking Virizion is even going to be swapped. It's going to be swapped for Vibrava or straight up Flygon. I just think Flygon's going to be really good with that Dragon Meteor because we're going to see a lot of big hitters. Yeah, so that's my gym deck, and plates wise, I've got to put that overdrive in for my boy Resh. Max Revive in there. I do have Ho-Oh, so you might not need that. And I want a hurdle jump in there for tactical reasons. Don't think I'm going to put long throw in because I'll just try and play a good defensive game. With no 1MPs, I should be able to get them into the positions they need to be in. Long throw, hurdle jump. Yeah. Max Revive. Like the Max Revive because it can give you a huge advantage for in the short game for longer. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Overdrive on that Reshiram is going to be insane. I mean, you could go like a full rest deck and just like overdrive on every one of them. That could be quite difficult to play against. But I think Blaziken's going to be the tough guy. You know, Mew is there for Blaziken. Mew is there to take Blaziken, and Virizion is there for backup. Moltres is there to take out, you know, with its heavy hit. Restrom is there with a heavy hit and the tactical fly, and Ho-Oh is there for Serene Light, plus that potential blocker for people thinking if I attack him and he hits Rainbow Wing, he could really screw me over. So all in all, I think that should be an effective deck. It probably won't be one of the top decks that we'll see because of Blaziken not being in it. But that's what I'm going with, and that's what I'm going to try from the start. Okay, so that's my deck. What are your decks? Let me know what you guys are going to be running. Let me know if you found any hidden gems for this gym that might be effective, that could potentially be worth putting into your deck. Okay, that's all from me. Hopefully you've enjoyed this and hopefully it's been helpful. If you have, hit that like button and hit subscribe to keep up to date with future information. Okay, see you soon. Bye.